What's going on, guys? Snake Eyes here, playing some more Dark Souls 2, and in this video we're going to be doing another weapon showcase, and the weapon we're going to be showcasing today is the Ruler Sword. Now if you don't know how to get the Ruler Sword, all you have to do is beat King Vendrick, then make your way back to the Shrine of Amana, open the Door of Life, and keep in mind you do have to be in human form in order to open it, and as soon as you open the door you'll see the Soul of King Vendrick. Pick that up and then go to Weaponsmith Ornifex and trade it for the Ruler Sword and 10,000 souls, and that's how you get the Ruler Sword. Now I'm going to go over the moveset, but keep in mind it's a standard greatsword moveset. The one-handed R1s are a bunch of horizontal attacks, while the R2 is a thrusting attack followed by another horizontal attack. The rolling attack is a pretty nice one. It's a thrusting attack, and I really do love my thrusting attacks, especially for PvP. And the running attack is another horizontal. Again, this is also a pretty decent move that you can bring onto PvP. I'm not a big fan of the two-handed moveset, to be honest. The R1s are a bunch of vertical attacks, while the R2 is just a slower form of a thrusting attack followed by a horizontal. The rolling attack is, I think, a thrusting attack. No, it's a plunging down attack, and the running attack is another horizontal. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the details of this weapon. There are a couple of pros and cons to this weapon, but the cons aren't as bad as you think they are. The only one that I can come up with is that I'm not a big fan of the two-handed moveset, and that kind of limits yourself as far as the moveset goes. It kind of just restricts yourself to the one-handed, but that's my personal opinion. If you guys are used to the two-handed moveset, or if it doesn't really bother you, then that's kind of a con that can be, just ignored. But me personally, I'm not a big fan of the vertical attacks. In PvP, I really don't like my enemy to be too close to me, and that's the only time that the two-handed R1s actually are worth anything. And the two-handed R2s are actually just a slower version of the one-handed R2s, so I kind of just stick with one-handed as far as everything else goes. The attack buff that you would get using this weapon for two-handed really doesn't make a difference, and I would rather use the one-handed R1s than the two-handed R1s. But like I said, if you're used to that moveset, then that's really not a con for you. And in all honesty, even though it is a con in my opinion, the one-handed moveset is fine enough for me to get by in PvP. The main pro to this weapon though is that it does get a boost in the attack depending on the amount of souls that you get, and I'm pretty sure there is a cap. I'm not too sure what that cap is, but if you look on the bottom right, I guess it's safe to say that at 2+ million souls, I pretty much reached that cap, probably even gone beyond it. And even though that I have reached and went beyond that cap, in all honesty, I really didn't see too much of an improvement as far as the attack rating goes. And as it stands right now, my attack rating is at 553, and as far as me being a dex build goes, that's actually pretty high considering that I'm really used to being around the 300 to 400 range. So I was really expecting to do a lot of damage in PvP, but maybe it's because I am in New Game Plus doing PvP, and most of these people have already upgraded their smelter set or their Havel set or the Looking Glass set, and maybe that kind of balances itself out, because I was really surprised at some of these fights where I was only doing 200 to 300 damage. Like I said, I'm kind of used to seeing those numbers when I'm using a katana or something like that, and using this weapon I was really psyched at seeing exactly how much I can do, and seeing the same 200, 300, that was kind of something that kind of threw me off. But like I said, it's probably because people have upgraded their armor already, but I'm pretty sure if you use this weapon in the first new game, you'll pretty much see yourself doing massive amounts of damage. But like I said, I'm not too sure, and that's a huge pro for me. Another pro is that it does have the same moveset, the one-handed moveset that almost all the greatswords use, and being that on my New Game Plus playthrough I was pretty much purely using greatswords, it was kind of something that I was used to. It was something that I was really comfortable with in PvP, and it has a decent amount of movesets or weapon type sets that I'm pretty much comfortable with. It has a wide swinging R1, and the thrusting attack is actually perfect for people who are trying to roll backwards. You can just take a couple steps forward, roll, and then use the R1, and it'll pretty much hit them. Just a side note, if you guys don't meet the requirements, as long as you have somewhere around 13 on the intelligence and faith, you can equip the King's Crown, and what that does is actually gives you +3 on your int and faith. As you can see, my character actually has that equipped, mainly because I only have 13 faith. So using that crown, I was actually able to get to the 16 faith that I need in order to wield it. and doing that was actually pretty awesome. Another thing is, and I'm not really too sure because I haven't looked too deeply into it, is that when I was using the Ring of Blades plus 2, I noticed that I got a plus 75 in the attack rating for this weapon. Now, I looked at all the other weapons that I was using when I was doing PvP, and all of them got the standard plus 50 that you're supposed to get when you wear the Ring of Blades plus 2, but this one got a plus 75, and I was thinking, well, maybe it was because I was switching from one-handed to two-handed every now and then, but holding it in one hand, I looked at the stats. Sure enough, I got a plus 75. That's kind of something that you guys might want to check out. Maybe you guys have the explanation on why it is plus 75. Maybe it's just something standard that I never really paid attention to, and in all honesty, I didn't just figure that out until I was actually getting ready to record this. So seeing that is actually kind of a plus, because any added damage in PvP is good damage in my opinion, and plus 75, hell, I'll take it. That's going to wrap up this weapon showcase. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already. If you haven't gotten this weapon, I definitely recommend picking it up. If you guys have picked it up and messed around with it, how did it go? Did you guys really like it? Like I said, I picked it up and I was really used to the Great Sword moveset, so using something like this in PvP was actually really nice, and having a 555 or 553 attack rating is actually kind of cool. I'm more used to the 300 to 400 range, like I said, but having something like this was awesome. Kind of a downer that I didn't expect, that I didn't see a big change. I was really expecting one, and either way it goes, I still had a fun time. This weapon still held its own in PvP. Like I said, if you haven't picked it up, definitely pick it up, try it out, let me know how it goes. And other than that, it's gonna wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, take care.